Hello friends, I am Smith Thakkar and I am here to present my software engineering paper presentation, and my topic is sentiment analysis. So today I will show you what is sentiment analysis and application of it and what how it actually works. So let's get started. So these are the topics we will cover today. Okay, so let's start from first one. What is sentiment? So as you can see in picture, and sentiment is feeling. It can be like attitude, emotions, or opinion. So sentiment is basically expression, you can say. So what is sentiment analysis? So the analysis of sentiment is basically sentiment analysis. More specific, we can say that sentiment analysis is the field of study that analyzes people's opinions, sentiments, evolution, appraisals, attitudes, and emotions towards entities such as products, services, organizations, individuals, issues, events, topics, and their attributes. So it is basically analysis of people's opinion, you can say, people's feelings, you can say. So sentiment analysis is the process of determining whether a piece of writing is a positive, negative, or neutral. So you can get idea from piece of paper that is this a positive or a negative or a neutral. So for example, if you have a text document, let's say some review of any product. So sentiment analysis will what it will do is it will analyze its opinion. It will analyze all the text data, all the all the keywords you have written in it, and it will tell you that whether it is positive review or whether it is a negative or whether it is a neutral. So it is also known as opinion mining. Sentiment analysis refers to the use of natural language processing, text analysis, computational linguistics, and machine learning method to identify and extract subjective information in source material. Sentiment analysis aims to determine the attribute of a speaker or a writer with respect to some topic or the overall contextual polarity of a document. So now let me introduce level of analysis. So these are the levels of analysis. So first is document level. So in document level, whether so it will classify whether a whole opinion document express a positive or negative sentiment. As I said earlier, whether if we have a document of a product review, so it will classify. So it is a like it is document level analysis. So it will tell that whether the piece of document is positive or negative sentiment. Second is sentence level. So it will classify each sentence as positive, negative, or neutral, and it will based on subjectivity classification, which distinguishes objective sentence. It means factual information from subjective sentence. The third and the last level is aspect and entity level. So it is finer grained analysis. So it is very closer, you can say. Instead of looking language constructs, it will directly looks for opinion. So it will directly looks for idea, opinion. For examples, if it is written that iPhone's camera is good but battery life is short, so there are two aspects in this. That camera is a positive and battery is negative. Sentiment lexicon. Indicators of sentiments are called sentiment words or opinion words. Words that are commonly used to express positive or negative sentiments. Positive keywords are good, awesome, amazing, great. These are the keywords for positive expression, and for bad it is like, for negative it is bad, poor, awful, etc. So apart from individual words, there are also phrases and idioms like cost someone an arm and a leg. Your negative sentiment word may have opposite orientations in different application domains. Like this camera sucks is bad for any camera, but this vacuum cleaner really sucks. So it is a good for vacuum cleaner. So context are different in both sentences. A sentence containing sentiment words may not express any sentiment. Sarcastic sentence with or without sentence words like what a great car. It stopped working in 2 days. So bad review. It is a sarcasm. So many sentences without sentiment words can also imply opinions. Like this was uses a lot of water. So natural language processing is conference resolution is the task of finding all expressions that refer to the same entity in a text. Word sense disambiguation is identifying which sense of a word is used in a sentence. Major issues related with sentiment analysis sentiments is opinion spamming. So defining opinion. So this is just a example. This is just an example. I want to show you that how it actually works. So this is the review of by John Smith on September 10, 2011, and he mentioned five things. First is I bought a HP Office set printer 6 months ago. Okay. Second is I simply love it. Value for money product. Third is the print quality is amazing. Fourth is it really easy to set up. And five is however my wife thinks setup is too complex for her. So let's analyze the opinion. Let's define an opinion. So an opinion consists of two key components, a target O and a sentiment F. So review has opinion from two person, and date is also important as one wants to know how opinion change with time. Thus an opinion is quadruple. So it has quadruple means it has four parameters. O, F, H and T. O means O for target, F for sentiment, H is for opinion holder and T is for time. A target can be divided into entity and its attribute. Like camera can be denoted as the model of camera, some features of it like Canon G12. An opinion is quantiple. So as I said earlier, there are four parameters in it. This is output. So as you can see on the top there is a product name and the picture of it, and in the bottom it has a review. Uh, 377 reviews are there, and there are lots of parameters. You can say ease of use. So it has you can say 4 star. So how many people give it a 4 star or 5 star or 1 star? So these are the parameters. These parameters like easy to set up. So it has really good stars in it, and in customer service it is not that much good. So it is basically the output of sentiment analysis. So let's talk about sentiment analysis task. So first task is entity extraction and categorization. Second is aspect extraction and categorization. Third is opinion holder extraction and categorization. Fourth is time extraction and standardization. Fifth is affect sentiment classification. And sixth is opinion quantifiable generation. So main subtask with sentiment analysis or opinion mining. Five subtasks. So first is sentiment classification. Classify a piece of text based on whether it expresses a positive, negative or a neutral sentiment. Second is sentiment lexicon generation. So in this subtask, it will determine whether a word or a multi-word convey a positive, neutral or a negative. Third is sentiment quantification. It will estimate the prevalence of a different positive, negative or a neutral sentiment. So fourth is opinion extraction. It will identify the holder of the opinion, its object, its polarity, and the type of opinion. The fifth is aspect-based sentiment extraction. It will estimate the sentiment conveyed by the text concerning different aspect of the object. So there are two types of learning. One is supervised and second is unsupervised. So, so now we will talk about two types of learning. One is supervised learning and second is unsupervised learning. So let's start with supervised learning. So like a human learning from past experience, as we all know, that the human learns from experiences, but computer does not have any experience. So a computer system learns from data. Okay. So our focus is learn a target function that can be used to predict the values of discrete class attributes like approve or not approve, high risk and low risk. The task is commonly called supervised learning or supervised classification. Let me show you one example. So one credit card company received thousands of applications for a new card. Okay. So each application contains a few informations like age, marital status, annual salary, outstanding debts, credit rating. So the problem is to decide whether an application should approve or classify application into two categories. So the problem is to decide whether an application should approve or not. So this can be solved by sentiment analysis. On the top, you can say age, has a job, own house, credit rating, and class. These are the attributes. These are the information in the application. And the class is for the class is for whether it is approved or not. So so let's take ID one. So applicant is young, but he has no job, he has no own house, and his credit rating is fair. He will not get credit card. So there are 15 cases as you can see. So these 15 applications have different class yes or no. So it will decide based on every attribute. The learning task is very important. Use the model to classify future credit card application into yes or no. It means approved or not. So supervised learning, so it is two steps process. First is learning or you can say training. It means learn a model using the training data. And second is testing. Test the model using unseen test data to measure its accuracy. So what is accuracy? Accuracy is number of correct classification divided by total number of test cases. So what actually happens? Training data and learning algorithm Both will make a model which will which will train the machine, okay, and then we will test it with test data and measure its accuracy. So second is unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning allows us to approach problems with little or no idea what our results should look like. We can derive structure from data where we don't necessarily know the effect of the variables. We can derive this structure by clustering. With unsupervised learning, there is no feedback based on the prediction results. Like there is no teacher to correct you. It's not just about clustering. Let's take one example. One is clustering and second is associative. So let's start with clustering. Take a collection of 1,000 essays written on the US economy and find a way to automatically group this essay into a small number that are somehow similarly related by different variables such as word frequency, sentence length, page count, and so on. And in associative, we can say like suppose a doctor over years of experience forms associations in his mind between patients characteristics and illness that they have. Okay, so if a new person shows up, then based on this patient's characteristics such as symptoms, family medical history, the doctor associates possible illness based on what doctor has seen before with similar patients. And in this case, we would like to estimate a mapping function from patient characteristics into illness. So now move to application of it. So it is widely used in social media monitoring like Twitter, Facebook, etc. And it is also used to forecast market movement based on news, blogs, and social media sentiments. It can also track customer reviews. It is also used in business analytics and situations in which text needs to be analyzed. Anyone can get idea of how happy customers are with your products from the ratio of positive to negative tweets about them. It can be used for customer service by spotting dissatisfaction or problems with the product. So these are the references I used to create this presentation. This is a really interesting book, Introduction to Machine Learning. Thank you.